All right, I think you're live now. You might be. Let me
Did you translate to it? Mhm. All right, we are live. Good morning.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. I am
Hello.
here this morning with a special guest, Kelsey Little. We're going to real things that happen behind the scenes and motivate you and kind of bring you into our world and show you what this high ticket sales business is all about. We were chatting a little bit before we got on, and we're just like, sometimes when you see a post or when you read a post, you can have the wrong idea about us or
Mhm.
missed something important that you needed to get. So we decided to share our own, personal behind the scenes stories and also our wins here in this business and how you could
Mhm.
here. So welcome. Thank you, Kelsey, for joining. She's
Thank
actually
you for having me.
actually my mentor's mentor. So she's considered my upline here in this business. And she's only been here for 8 months. And I said, I need to get her on to share her testimony because it's truly amazing, inspiring. And I always think, wow, if she can do it, I can do this too.
Mhm.
Before you hear anything else, I want you to have that mindset right now is that if we can do this, you can do this too and just be so inspired. So, Kelsey, tell us a little bit how you got started in high ticket.
First of all, I love that you said that because that was literally my verbiage, my exact verbiage when I started and I saw my mentor. I said, if she's doing it, I can do it because it's already being done. You just have to believe in yourself. So I'm from a small town in Virginia. I was in the dental field for about 5 or 6 years. I got started in this because I had my son in August of 2023. And when I had him, that was when everything definitely shifted in my world. I continued to work for some time after. I hadn't come across this yet. So, June of last year is when I came across this opportunity. Like I said, I saw my mentor, just like how people see us on here. And I looked into it. It really piqued my interest. And her energy was something I felt so connected to, and I knew I could trust her. And again, I knew if she was doing it, I could do it too. And so, I mean, I had to. And when I talked to my husband about it, he said, if you know you can do this, if you think you can do this, let's do it. And that was all she wrote. And I started in June of 2024. October 1st was my last day working at the dentist office, which was insane. And within 8 months, I have closed over $300,000 worth of sales, and I have earned for my family over $100,000. And money aside, there have been so many other incredible things about this business, the team that I have built, the women that I have met, like Miriam, um, the growth that I have seen in myself, getting to stay home with my child and really work my own schedule. You guys, we didn't have to get up this morning and clock in. And I was telling Miriam before we got on here, it's raining like crazy in Virginia right now. And I was so relieved to wake up and just be like, I can have a slow morning. And there's so much power in that. And so we'll get into all that in a minute, but that's what really led me into this was I needed a change because survival mode was no longer working for me. I mean, realistically, I was spending maybe 2 hours in the evening with my baby, and it wasn't working for me. It was really hard and really heartbreaking. And why give up all of those moments that I wanted? And we were still living paycheck to paycheck. So it's like you're just burnt out all the way around. And you know when you're tired and a change needs to happen. And that's where I was. And I never looked back, but I would have never, I really never thought all of this was going to happen. Obviously I was hopeful and excited and I was ready to rock it. I was going to do whatever I needed to do, but I had no idea. I truly had no idea what I was in for. And so since then I have been so blessed and fortunate to hit one of the major top ranks in our organization as 6A, and I'm just so grateful and excited, and we still have a lot to do.
6A. So a lot of people don't understand that language. So can you explain a little bit what 6A means for us?
So 6A means I now make, oh man, like 8,000 per one sale. I also got a $3,000 bonus for that. It has to do with, like I mentioned, because I've now earned over 100,000 and I have all the sales and units accumulated. That is what has gotten me to where I am. But here's the thing, it wasn't just me. Like I didn't do this all by myself. I have an incredible team that I have got to teach and lead and help them do the same thing. And it's been a collaborative effort and it's been incredible. So 6A means I got an incredible pay raise. I have a $3,000 bonus coming just for hitting that rank. I have also locked in so many other ways to be paid by this company now that I'm 6A. And now that I'm also 6A, there's so many levels up, you guys. It is insane. There's no limit. There's no cap on commissions. There's truly no limit to what is possible here. And that gets me excited. That really gives me chills thinking about it because, you reach a goal. I never knew I was going to get here this fast. And then you're like, what's next? That's what keeps me motivated. I'm like, where are we going next? We got to keep going. And it's so exciting, you guys. It really is.
Exciting. And congratulations too on your
Thank
recent.
you.
What I love about this business is that once you reach a point or whatever you level up to, there's no going back. You'll stay there.
Yes.
They don't take that away from you. So it could be like a year later and you're still at the same rank where you leveled up to. So that's one thing I love about our company.
That is so important to be talked about too. So we never derank ever. So when you start from that day on, you are just growing. As long as you're going to work your business and be consistent, you are forever growing. And I absolutely love that. I mean, our company is really focused on helping, and I love that so much. Truly, when they were founded, the CEO said he wanted healthier, cleaner water, so we're talking about health and wealth, and he wanted to get families out of debt. And I mean, boy has he. I mean, we are $1 billion debt-free company producing things that have life-changing testimonials, not only financially but people's health. And it's just, there's so much good to be done with something like this, and that's why they take such good care of their distributors, truly, because we're out here doing the Lord's work. I mean, we really are making massive changes. And even just as a wife and a mother, even if we, smaller scale, just talking about me and my house, I mean, the changes that have happened, the more of a present mom that I get to be, and a more present wife and a more serving wife, there's so many things I wanted to be more of. That was really what was getting me when I was at the transition period wanting to start this. I felt like I was never enough. At home, I didn't get to spend time with my child. I didn't feel like cooking dinner because you get home and then I'm nursing my son, and then we're doing the whole bedtime routine. So then I wasn't cooking dinner. That made me feel terrible. I quit packing my husband's lunches. All these things that add up to what mean a lot to me. All I've ever wanted to do is be a wife and a mother. It felt like I wasn't getting there. And for what? Every other week paycheck that wasn't even truly helping my family get where we wanted to be. I mean, we were in a circle of bills and debt and things we were never going to outrun ever. And that's the reality of it. You can't outrun all of that. And it just means so much to me.
That too. I've been able to retire from my corporate job with this business just a few months ago. And yeah, you're talking about the realness of what it's like because I remember coming home from work and just crying in the shower. And my family knew, like, I needed that moment to just soak in the shower and cry because I was so physically exhausted. I'm running a ministry and I love that. And I love being home with my children. My children, my daughter is going to be 18 soon, already leaving for college. And I just kept thinking to myself, I need those moments with her before she leaves the doors. Like, I need that. And I wanted that so bad. I felt like I missed out on so much. And I just had a cry, but I had a fight in me that I was going to the next opportunity that came to me it lines with who I am. I'm a,
Mhm,
and I'm also a minister too. So it needed to align with my beliefs and
mhm.
honest company, a company of integrity. And that's what this is. wow. And I was like, okay, I'm in it. As soon as I watched the masterclass, I was like,
Mhm.
I'm whatever I got to do. And I'm like you, Kelsey. I have an amazing supportive husband that told me the same, that said, if you believe you can do this, then do this. Do it. And I'm telling you, just a few months after starting, I was able to say, wow, I saw what I was making and the potential of making more. I wasn't going to derank. That's important here. And
Yeah,
okay, that's it. I'm done with this job and I'm going to run in this business full time. And that's what I want to go into next about the what really happens behind the scenes. What does this high business look like behind the scenes? What are we doing? And she mentioned this morning, it's Monday here. I'm in Pennsylvania. It's raining too. I didn't have to get up out of my bed. I didn't have to, other than, my own responsibilities and my own personal
right.
relationship with the Lord and that time. I didn't have to have somebody else, monitor me there. It was
Mhm.
my
There's
oh,
there's so much power and freedom to be talked about in that. I truly never ever imagined getting to be in this position. I mean, I feel like Wonder Woman. Seriously, I feel like I'm unstoppable and there's nothing that I cannot do. And there's nobody that's going to tell me any different. I mean, truly, that is the confidence I now walk with. I don't have any bosses. I don't have rude coworkers. I'm no longer doing other people's work and not getting paid for it. I used to really struggle in office, and that was something I was going to say as well. Speaking of you crying, and that's the reality that so many people face, especially mothers. And I know there's women watching this who have been there. If you are a mom, you already know. There was mornings I used to cry on the way to work and cry on the way back to work because I'm so tired. But now I can focus on my health more. I've started exercising regularly again because I have time for it and I have the energy and I'm motivated. I've started reading my Bible again and focusing on that because I really have the time to slow down. And that is huge. That is so huge. This isn't just about how much money we're making. I mean, financial freedom is so important, but it's supposed to be a roadway for all these other things, for the things we're truly after. I mean, I could make $1 million, but if I had nothing else in my world, it would mean nothing. It would mean nothing. This is about our families. That's really what it's about. And I just love it so much that if I need a day off, disconnect. I'll put my phone on do not disturb, turn the sounds off, and just spend time in my home. My business is not affected. My team has help if they need it. They have all the resources to be successful. And I can be a present wife and mom with no obligations. I mean, what about sick days? As a mom, sick days, when I had to go back to work, that was very difficult for me. I rarely ever called out of work. I hated to miss work. And it was because we were so tight on our paychecks. I knew if I made, or excuse me, if I worked a certain amount of hours, I knew how much money I was going to get. So I would sit and be like, if I call out tomorrow, that's 8 hours that I have to take off. And then that's this much money we're not going to get. I mean, and when you have a child, it's like, I'm not leaving my sick 3-month old. And it's things like that. And then don't even get me started about the guilt, the workplace guilt that they make you feel for choosing your family over a job, making somebody else's dream come true. It's insane. None of that aligned to me. I couldn't make sense of the things that were so important to me and a place of work, a place of employment, wanting me to choose that over everything that truly matters. Because here's something I've been really thinking about recently. You could not be replaced at home. There is no other Miriam in your household. There's no other Kelsey in my household. This is truly what we are meant to be doing. And I think anything that pulls you away from that, it's not for you. And you know when it's not for you because you feel it. That's why you're miserable. That's why you're so tired. That's why you're burnt out. That's why you and your husband are arguing because you're so tired and irritated and you have the baby and it's so much. And I literally have chills right now. And it takes me back to when I was on maternity leave. I don't want to get emotional on here, but maternity leave was very, very difficult for me. I suffered with postpartum anxiety, And it was because I knew I was going to have to go back to work. And every day of what was supposed to be this beautiful, magical time with a newborn, it felt like dread was just piling up every single day. And it truly is one of the hardest things I've ever been through to this date. I had no clue how I was going to survive. And I remember when I went back the first day from my maternity leave, I did work with some good people. I really did. And they tried to make me feel special and they decorated my office and all the things. And it didn't matter. A piece of my heart was at my parents' house. And that hurts. Oh, it can make me emotional just thinking about it. And I'm so grateful because here's the next thing. When we decide to grow our family more, imagine how different that's going to be to come home and slow down and relish in every single second that, Kelsey, you're not going back to work in 12 weeks. You're still going to be right here where you need to be. I'm just so grateful. I really am.
I am too. Thank you for sharing that. Those are some pinpoints that we, need to consider too, and be honest about it, because it's really hard when you're, we don't want to, I'll just be honest. Even myself, I was, I was full of pride when I worked my job. I became manager and I just thought to myself, and this is a worldly perspective too. I can do it all. Really?
Oh,
We're not all. We're meant to maintain our households, and then anything outside of our households comes from our overflow. And if we're exhausted from our overflow, how do we have anything from inside of our homes? That's the honest truth. And thank you for sharing that honest truth. I think about now how I'm able to just function in my house that's clean. Because when I was burnt out,
yes.
dishes, my room, or laundry that was piled up, I have I love my house clean. So if I am,
Hmm.
you know, coming home from work, I gotta cook. There's dishes, there's this, there's that to do, and it's like the pile never ends. Now it's like I'm able to organize my days better. I'm able to have my home clean like I'd like it.
Hmm.
I just deep cleaned my refrigerator and I was like, ooh, I have the time for this today. It felt so fantastic.
Yes.
Those things can add to our
Hmm.
stressors, because it's really hard to function in a clean home. It really is. And I'm grateful.
I'd love to add something to that it's in the same ballpark because what sounds so little is what adds up. That's your day-to-day existence. That's your life. And that's what this is about. It's about living and not surviving. I truly don't believe in my heart that we were meant to work till 60, 70 years old and then retire and then be too exhausted to function and have little to no retirement. And meanwhile, the person you've worked for this whole time, they are filthy rich and you have put in all the work. I mean, people love to talk about schemes, this and that. Oh my goodness. Let me pump the brakes for a second because I wanted to talk about what you just talked about with, having a clean home and everything. Okay, so I left my job October 1st. And it was not too long after that, I had to schedule the next checkup for my son. I think he's 18 months. And I remember standing there and she was like, "What day works?" And it just makes me so giggly because I was like, whenever, whenever you want to, I'm open. I don't have a job. I'm feeling great. It's like, because had I still worked at the dentist office, I would have had to request off. That's stressful. And then they give you a hard time about it. I would have had to more than likely end up taking him to the doctor and then taking him to my parents and then go back to work. That's not the reality anymore. And these things matter so much. They do affect your overall life. I mean, not having a clean home, stressing over doctor's appointments, calling in sick, all these things. These are things that you can all relate to. And that's the message we really wanted to get across here today is that we are normal women who have literally been connected and have formed relationships over the country, which is absolutely insane to me. And the point being, you can do this too because we're doing it. And um, I used to say like I'm not special, this and that, but I am. I am special, but so are you. That is what I tell people because people come to me, how did you do this? And, how can I do that? And I can't talk like you. I don't know how to present myself online like you do. And I'm like, because you're not meant to. You are you, and that's why people are drawn to you and not drawn to me. And that's fine because they're looking for someone like you. And there are truly people out there waiting for someone like you. And I'm talking to all of you listening to this. Somebody is waiting for you to take action so that they can do the same thing. They're not inspired right now. They're not motivated and they lack the confidence. They need you to do it first so they can follow in your footsteps. And you're special. You're special too. And I don't remember what verse it was, but reading this morning, it was about God giving us gifts. That's what it was about. And it said how everyone had a gift. And I highlighted it and I was like, everybody does have a gift. That's the whole intention of us, who we are. And it's not talked about enough. How is your gift, your God-given gift, being put into work, sitting in a cubicle for 8 or 9 hours a day? How? I mean, you can spread the word to your coworkers and stuff, but how are you getting to do the things God intended for you to do if you're not living? If you're just stuck in survival, that's not poverty is not what we were meant for. It's really not. It's what everybody is accustomed to. People glorify the struggle. They think the struggle is beautiful and something to brag about and how hard you work and how burnt out you are. It's great that you work so hard, but you don't realize how comfortable you are being miserable. And you think it's okay. And you think it's okay to go home at night and call your best friend or something and be like, "Oh, did you have a long day too? And now I need to do this and this and this." That's not normal. It doesn't have to be. I mean, if you want that, that will be your normal. And if you're comfortable and you're stuck being comfortable, but it doesn't have to be. There are opportunities like this that can change your whole life around if you want that change.
Yes. Amen to that. I love
Yeah.
that. You know what I think of it as now that I'm on the other side? It was
Mhm.
like slavery.
Mhm.
And, because you get stuck in a cycle. And I believe that that's what people are accustomed to, the cycle of things. So we just want to share this with you guys and let you know from our perspective how it was before and how it is now and how you can achieve it. That's what we're here for, to hope inspire you. You get to have not just an amazing, incredible business and win back your time, but what I love also is that we're part of a community. And for me, I have my community in with my other fellow ministers, but this is something, Kelsey, you probably never heard me say this before, but this is a community that I didn't think that I needed outside of that, but that it helped me. And it's funny, my ministry is called Outside the Box. So God is always outside the box of things. And this is a community I never thought I needed. Other women, like real, normalized women, just
Mhm.
take back our time, be home
Mhm.
with our families, and just get out of survival mode.
Mhm.
That's what we're about, and that's what we're offering for you as well. For you to join an incredible team, and everybody is winning. It's not where it's only one person making it to the top. Have the ability to make it to the top just as much as everyone is really what it's about here. We're a community and we are working together to help everyone together level up so you can win back your time. And, it is more than money. The money is fantastic. Don't get me wrong. The money is great. You'll never
Mhm.
money, you know, on a low ticket as you are here in high ticket. However, the community is fantastic, other like-minded individuals, and just the fact that everyone is helping each other. This is really incredible. So I just
I'm
wanted,
so glad you brought that up. I mean, it is a really incredible community. And I love how you said, like, you didn't think you needed a group like this or anything. And I've never been one to be surrounded by a lot of friends, honestly. I mean, in high school, I was the typical cheerleader, so I had my cheerleader friends. But since then, like since growing up and becoming a wife and a mom, it's just us. It's really just me and my boys and my family. And That's what it is. And so being welcomed into something like this, I mean, I truly love the women that we work with. And I feel like we talk like we're best friends because we are. I mean, we really are like a family, but